Namaste. Before following any advice or practices suggested in this video, it is always recommended you consult with your doctor as to its suitability, especially if you suffer from any health problems or special conditions. Yamajit, John Hollinsby Mayer, and Tridevi Chumunda Mandir cannot accept any responsibility for any injuries or damages incurred as a result of the exercises and meditations contained in this video. Namaste, and welcome to Tridevi Chumunda Mandir in Denver, Colorado. I'm Yamajit, and so glad that you could join me this evening for number 7 in our series of chair yoga and meditation practices for the chakras. Tonight, the crown chakra, Sarasrara. Before we begin, though, I have a few announcements. Also, anybody who, if you would like, please say hello using the chat function on the bottom of the screen. But we've got a lot going on this month here at the temple. We'll be continuing with our Tuesday satsangs every Tuesday, 7 o'clock. Those will, for the time being, continue to be just broadcast only. However, beginning the second Friday of the month, our Friday pujas will be open to both in person as well as broadcast. So, just looking at some things coming up. Next Tuesday, we'll conclude the chair yoga series by doing a practice for all 7 chakras and meditation to go with those as well. This coming Friday will be our monthly Kriya Yoga, Sadhana, and Devi Puja. And whether you've done Kriya with me or not, you are always welcome. You can, nothing else, you're welcome to join in the meditation and the mantras as well. And as well as eventually practicing the series and doing it for yourself. Then the second Friday of the month, Puja and Satsang to the Kali Nitya Goddess Ugra. This will be number 7 in that series. And this will be the first of our Friday pujas that will once again be open for on person. And we're actually going to be doing, hopefully, weather permitting, a fire puja outside in our meditation garden, first one of the year. The third Friday of the month, that's the 21st, we'll be doing Yoga Nidra, both the meditation and Devi Puja. And then on the final Friday of the month, Puja to the Kali Nitya Goddess Ugraba. And that again, the 21st and 28th, those are open for in person as well. So really looking forward to, once again, hosting events here at the temple. So our theme tonight is the 7th chakra, Sarasrara chakra, and just to give a little information on that. So it's located on the top of the head, and physiologically and anatomically, it really corresponds to that portion of the brain that makes us truly human. That is the cerebral cortex. So not just in terms of higher order thinking, but also our ability to make that shift from regular waking consciousness to joining in with the consciousness of the universe. So the basic issues concerning this chakra would include knowing, the connection to the spirit, and connection to the universe. Its mantra really doesn't have a mantra, usually silence, although some scholars will say that Om will work for the crown chakra as well. If the chakra is balanced, you may feel spiritual, blessed, a sense of unity, wisdom, open-mindedness, peaceful, connection to the universe, strong nervous system. Imbalances of the crown chakra can include mental disorders, fears, materialistic tendencies, memory or learning issues, apathy, somebody who might have a sense of just feeling broken or damaged, or somebody in spiritual crisis. And an imbalance in the crown chakra can also be connected to fanaticism, especially around spiritual or religious issues. So, as always, we're going to open with a short puja to Ma Kali, so that we're doing our practice in sacred space. During this time, I would especially like to remember the people of India. Right now, there's a lot of people who are having a hard time because of COVID. And I'd also like to remember two of our Indian viewers, Abhishek and Anup, and their families as well. And we certainly will be sending positive energies in their direction. When we start resuming our in-person pujas, I intend to have dakshina offerings, specifically for the Indian Red Cross and relief efforts in that part of the world. So I invite you to make yourself comfortable. You can sit in your chair or comfortably on the floor like I'm doing here, maybe with a cushion under the hips. I invite you to bring the palms of your hands together to your heart center. And we'll open our practice tonight by chanting Om 3 times. Inhale. Inhale and exhale, slowly opening your eyes. Om Pavitra Pavitrova Sarvavastam Gatopiva Yashmare Pandarikaksham Sabhyabhyanta Sushi. Om Gam Ganapataye Namo Namah. Jai Ganesha. Om Sri Gurubhyo Namah. Jai Guru. Om Jayanti Mangalakali Bhadrakali Kapalini Durga Shama Shiva Datri Svasvada Namostute. Jaya Tvam Devi Chamunde Jaya Bhutita Harani Jaya Sarvagati Devi Kalaratri Namostute. Jai Ma Kali. Lam Vam Ramyam Ham Om. 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 vam ramyam ham om. Lam vam ramyam ham om. Lam vam ramyam ham om. Jema. 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 So besides a chair with a straight back, some things you might want for our practice tonight. Perhaps cushion or cushions. Blankets are very useful. Those can be molded and folded into just about anything you need prop-wise. We are going to be doing a forward fold and also sideways folds. So a block may be useful. So when you're doing a forward fold in the chair, if your fingers don't quite touch the ground, having a block might be useful. And if you don't have a block, small box of some kind, or even a thick book could work as well. So in taking simple sitting in your chair, you're going to want your feet to comfortably come to the floor, knees about hip width apart. If your feet don't quite touch the floor, then again, a block, blanket, or cushion might prove useful in that case. Likewise, if you feel your knees are coming up kind of high, maybe putting a blanket on the chair will help as well. But essentially, you want to be able to sit comfortably with a straight back so the breath is open, hands resting comfortably on your lap. And I invite you now to close your eyes, and we're going to open our practice with just some simple, deep yogic breathing. So breathing slowly and breathing deeply. Being aware of the sound of the breath and also the sensation as it enters and leaves through the nose. You can also try breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Completely filling and emptying the lungs, even those deepest areas of the lungs that so often don't get a regular flow of air, sometimes because of the position we might be sitting in something like an office chair. And the breath is the basis of yoga practice. It in itself is a mantra that we repeat roughly 21,000 times a day. And our movements in yoga are in harmony with the breath. Expansive movements are accompanied by an inhale, contractive or inner movements. Bring things closer to the body. We exhale. It's useful in this kind of breath meditation to envision yourself like a glass of water. So a glass of water will fill from the bottom to the top, and it will empty from the top to the bottom. So as you inhale, expand the belly, then the chest, the shoulders rise, and as you exhale, the shoulders come down, chest comes in, the belly toward the spine. But in the act of breathing, with every exhalation, we can use that as an experience to let go, just letting go of the concerns of the day, the stresses, and the tensions on a physical or mental level. And as we breathe in, feel yourself breathing in a cleansing and balancing and relaxing energy. And maybe notice with each exhalation, the body becoming a little bit more relaxed each time. The shoulders relaxing and maybe dropping down a little bit. The jaw relaxing, the teeth are unclenched. The eyes are relaxing, and there's a relaxed gaze behind your closed eyes. The neck is relaxing, and the chest, and the arms and legs and trunk. And the feet are also relaxing. And if it feels right at this time, I invite you to make a short sankalpa, a short intention for our practice tonight. Just think of some small issue in your life that's ready for change or transformation or healing. And just think of that issue and let yourself imagine what it would look like when that issue comes to resolution. And as you think of that, are there any words that come with that? Any words associated with balance or healing? And finally, I invite you to focus on your physical form. And just make a note of what thinking about resolving that issue feels like as well. And I invite you to slowly open your eyes, bringing your awareness back to the space around you. And just the awareness of you sitting in the place that you've chosen, taking 2 or 3 breaths, and just notice any other changes that have come about as a result of this very simple yet very powerful meditation. In a typical yoga class, the crown chakra practice is the silent meditation that's at the end, very often in Shavasana, or in the other form of yoga, the chair yoga that I enjoy teaching, yin yoga. There's the option of just sitting in silent meditation at the end of the physical asana practice as well. And remember, I said that really the mantra for the crown chakra is silence as well. You could also experiment by chanting Om silently while focusing your breath and your attention on the top of the head. So I invite you now to scoot just a little bit forward on your chair, keeping your back straight, and separate your knees a little bit. When there's a practice for the crown chakra, any kind of inversion is associated with that chakra. So forward bending, something as simple as downward facing dog or even child's pose, those are inversions. And also such asanas as headstand. And we will be doing a supported form of headstand this evening. But we're actually going to begin in our warm-up sequence. We move the spine in different directions. And we're actually going to begin with a forward bend, our first inversion pose. So I invite you to bring the palms of your hands together at your heart center in Anjali Mudra. Inhale, bringing the arms slowly overhead, coming back into a slight back bend, lifting the heart up toward the ceiling. And then exhale, bringing the hands down, hinging at the hips, keeping the back relatively straight, bringing the hands to the floor. Perhaps using a folded blanket or a block if that helps. Letting the head and neck hang loose. And just breathing. Coming as far into the pose as body and breath allows. Knowing you have permission to come out of it a little bit if there's too much discomfort. But just breathing and relaxing in this very simple inversion. Coming deeper, that feels right. And then inhaling, coming up slowly. Slowly stacking each vertebra at a time, one at a time. Rolling the shoulders back and coming back into simple sitting. Taking a couple of breaths. And just allowing yourself to be aware of the effects of the start of our practice. And then inhale, hinging at the hip, coming forward, bringing the chin and the chest forward. And exhale, coming back, collapsing the chest, bringing the chin to the chest. And just doing some slow flowing rounds of seated cat-cow. Flexing the spine forwards and backwards. And inhale, coming back to center. Taking a couple of breaths. Scooting back on the chair a little bit. And so for our sideways folding, you can have a block by your side to place your hand on, or you're going to be starting with your right hand, just finding a comfortable place to grab the chair, either on the seat or maybe on one of the legs if that feels stable for you. But inhale, raising your right arm overhead. Exhale, bringing it down, just finding that stable place to grab the chair. And inhale, rotating the left arm back, keeping the shoulder back, keeping both sits bones in place. Reaching with that left hand and breathing deeply. And inhale, pressing up. Coming back to center, take a couple of breaths. And inhale, raising the right arm overhead. Exhale, bringing it to the left knee. Actually, just got backwards there. Inhale, raise the left arm overhead. Switch the block if you need to. Exhale, finding that place to grab the chair or place your hand on the block. Inhale, rotate the right arm around, keeping both sits bones in place. Right shoulder back, breathing and flexing to the left as you reach with the arm and the hand on the right side. And inhale, pressing up. Bringing your hands back to your knees. Take a couple of breaths. Now we're going to do the crisscross thing. Inhale, raise your left arm overhead. Exhale, bringing it to your right knee. Inhale, kickstanding the right arm around, finding a safe place to grab the chair and twisting gently to the right, breathing. Back is nice and straight. Turning the head to look over the left shoulder, continuing to breathe. And inhale. And exhale, coming back to center. Take a couple of breaths. And inhale, raising the right arm overhead. Exhale, bringing it to the left knee. Inhale, kickstanding the left arm around, finding a place to grab the chair and twisting gently to the left. Turning your head to look over the right shoulder. Continuing to breathe. And inhale. And exhale, coming to center. Take a couple of breaths. Good. And then scooting on a little bit forward on the chair. I invite you to cross the right leg over the left knee. whichever way is most comfortable for you. It could even be this way if need be. And then inhale, raising the right hand, bending the arm, and wrapping the left arm around to find eagle. Garudasana, breathing deeply. And inhale and exhale, releasing, bringing the right foot back to the mat. Take a couple of breaths. And then crossing the left leg over the right knee. Inhale, bringing the left arm forward, bending at the elbow, and wrapping the right hand around and breathing. And inhale and exhale, coming back to center. If you want to try this particular pose again and you have trouble crossing the legs, you can still sit with your legs neutral and just do the eagle arms as well. I'm going to shift to the side here just to demonstrate the next one. Turn the chair too. So you're going to scoot a little bit forward on the chair. Inhale, bring both arms behind, clasping the hands, keeping the arms straight. Slight bend at the elbow. Inhale tall, and exhale, hinging at the hip, bending forward, raising the hands, and breathing. And then inhale, exhale, come back up. Bring your hands to the side of the chair. Roll the shoulders back, lifting the heart toward the ceiling. And breathing in seated camel. And inhale. Exhale, roll the shoulders forward, come back to center. Take a couple more breaths. And then we're going to come to standing. Bringing the chair to the right side. And first, and you can use the chair for support anytime. So you can just hold it with your right hand. But I invite you to bring both feet about hip width apart, slight bend in the knees, lift all 10 toes and bring the back, starting with the little toe to the big toe to reestablish the arch of the foot. Roll the shoulders back, bring the palms forward, looking straight ahead and just standing in mountain pose. Again, you can use the chair for support if you need it. And while breathing, I invite you to just find some fixed spot on the opposite wall to focus your gaze on. This is called finding your drishti, your balanced gaze, and this will help you to balance. It's actually a little meditation unto itself. And then bring your right hand to the back of the chair if it's not there already. And begin to shift your weight to the right leg. Again, keeping just that ever so slight bend in the knee, not locking the knee, making it just very easy to pick up the left leg. And then you can, keeping the knee back, you can kickstand the left foot against the right ankle. Or you can lift it up a bit, just under the knee. And inhale, raising the left arm, looking straight ahead and finding tree pose, which Vrikshasana. And inhale and exhale, come out of the pose. Roll the shoulders back. Replant your feet about hip width apart. Returning to mountain pose, take a couple of breaths. And move the chair to the other side. Keeping in mind that as we come into tree pose on the other side, you can make little adjustments with the chair and your hand and your leg as you need to. But again, shifting the weight to the left foot, keeping just a very slight bend in the knee. Just so it's easy to begin moving the right foot around. And again, either kickstand at the ankle or bring the foot up on the leg. And inhale, raising the right arm overhead, focusing on that point on the opposite wall and breathing. And inhale. And exhale, bringing the foot and the arm back. Once again, coming back to mountain. And just take a couple of breaths. So I promised you another inversion. We're going to do a supported form of headstand using the chair. And this is where a blanket is going to come in very handy. Placing a folded blanket on the seat of the chair just to give you a little more padding and support. You could also use a cushion as well. Coming to the chair, kneeling. And then bringing your forearms to the chair, making a little cradle with both of your hands. Inhale, exhale, bringing the crown of the head to the blanket and your hand cradle. Tucking your toes under. And then with the next inhalation, straightening the legs so that your head is now resting on the seat of the chair and on the blanket. Again, trying not to lock the knees, but breathing. Engaging your core. And then inhale. Exhale, bend the knees, coming back to kneeling. Coming up slowly in a safe manner. Maybe just resting on your knees, your toes tucked under in a very simple form of warrior pose. And then finding a safe way to transition back to sitting in the chair. So I invite you now to cross your right leg over the left again, if you can. If not, you can still do the arm and shoulder portion, even if you're seated this way. Oops. Don't fall off the chair. And inhale, raise your right arm overhead. Drop the hand behind your back. Bring the left hand around to meet it, keeping the back straight, looking straight ahead and breathing. Finding seated cow face or Gomukhasana. And inhale. Exhale, release the arms. Bring the foot back to the mat. Breathe. And then cross the left leg over the right. Inhale, raise the left arm overhead, dropping the hand back. Bringing the right hand around to meet it. Back straight, looking straight ahead and breathing. And inhale. And exhale, release the arms. Come back to simple sitting. And bringing your elbows to the knees. And just resting your forehead in your hands, breathing deeply with your eyes closed. And just resting for a moment in seated child's pose. Preparing for a meditation. Inhale, coming up slowly. Once again, finding simple sitting. Closing your eyes. Breathing deeply. And at first, just taking a moment and feeling the effects of our practice this evening. Releasing any noticeable tensions with your out breath. Increasing your sense of relaxation with each in-breath. And then bringing the peace fingers from your right hand and placing them on your third eye so that you can lock the nostrils with your right thumb and right ring finger. Closing off the right nostril with the thumb and inhale through the left. And then closing off the left, and we're going to exhale and inhale through the right. And then switching sides, exhale and inhale. And alternating back and forth. One last exhalation and inhalation through the right. Close off the right, and one last exhalation through the left. Bringing your right hand back to your knee. And now, with your eyes closed, coming back to long, slow, deep yogic breath. And then focusing your breath and your attention to the crown of your head. Breathing in and out through the crown of the head. Noticing any sensations as you do that. And I invite you now to visualize at the crown of the head a bright white lotus petal, lotus flower with 1,000 petals reaching out in all directions, shining. And just continue to breathe. And just focus on the image of that lotus on the top of the head. And just be aware of anything that this experience brings into your awareness. And then take a deep and clearing breath and just let go of the visualization. Just return to bringing your breath and awareness first to the top of the head. Just breathing out and in through the top of the head. Just being aware of the experience of what it's like to focus on that area. And then letting your breath and your awareness expand from the very crown of the head. And let it fill the top portion of the skull. Feel as though you are aware of that you are breathing in and out through the whole cranial cavity. And again, just be aware of what it's like to experience awareness on that level, essentially breathing in and out of the brain. Especially the largest portion of the cerebral cortex. A part of the brain that makes us truly human and truly spiritual as well. Acknowledging that at any time we can make that important shift from regular waking human consciousness to yogi consciousness, uniting our consciousness with that of the divine and the entire universe. And then taking another deep and clearing breath, just letting go of that meditation. And just return to deep breathing, slow breathing. And allow yourself to just rest in a place of stillness and silence as you take part in silent meditation. Letting the mind quiet. Letting thoughts fall by the wayside. just being in the present moment. And then taking a deep and clearing breath. Letting your breath return to normal. And being aware of the sounds around you, the sound of my voice, the sound of any other, just the sound of anything else in your space. The sensation of your body seated in the chair. And more aware in general of your surroundings. Slowly bringing the palms of your hands together at your heart center. And listening to the words of our benediction. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Happiness to all Earth's creatures. Om peace, peace, peace. Taking a moment to thank the divine for its presence. Knowing you can draw upon that divine power at any time. Taking a moment to express gratitude to yourself for taking part in this practice tonight. Slowly opening your eyes. Namaste. Jai Mata Di. Blessings always. And thank you so very much for joining me this night. Jai Ma. So I hope you enjoyed that practice this evening, and I invite you, as with all of our practices, to watch the recordings on YouTube and practice these for yourself. Perhaps add some new things to your personal practice. I hope you have a wonderful, restful night tonight and a wonderful day ahead. And I look forward to you joining me for our Kriya Yoga practice and satsang and puja on Friday night, 7 o'clock here on YouTube. Have a wonderful night, and Jai Ma.